This is what we refer to as our old river bridge in downtown Columbus, Mississippi. If you remember back, if you've been around with me for a good while, February of 2020, we had a pretty big flood here in Columbus. And the bridge pier, not this center one that you're looking at, this bridge actually spins around, it can turn. But the one on the left, it got compromised, and we thought that maybe it was a flood that had pushed it over some. But come to find out, it was actually a barge strike that hit that pier. And you can see the marks on it. I'll highlight it here in just a little bit. But there was a tow of barges going up the river, and one of the loaded barges got away and floated down this old river run. This is just one of the old river runs that when they made the river, straightened it out, its water still runs down it, but no barge traffic or anything really uses this end of it anymore. But this barge got away. You can see these three marks right there where the center one, you finna see the arrow pop up right there. That's where the back of the barge rested at. Barge floated down, went under the new bridge, never touched it. Don't know how it made it past it to hit this one without hitting the other one, but somehow or another it did, because this is an island. Had it knocked the other bridge down, that anybody there, you wouldn't have been able to travel back and forth from the island. But the barge dead centered this pier that we're looking at now, and I'll put the highlights on it where you can see the marks on it where the nose of the barge actually hit it. And then we're going to go up top, and I'm going to show you how far out of plumb that this pier is knocked also. Here comes the circle now. You can see where the barge rested, hit it right there, and then here's some more where it's coming up on the side right there. It knocked this pier. I think the only thing that kept from knocking this pier, if you look at the top of it, is where it caught on this leg. A little bit more and it would have knocked it down. So they're in litigation about this thing. It's going to be tied up in the courts. You'll see it here. See that leg right there is supposed to be plumb, straight up and down. And see, that plate is supposed to be resting on that yellow circle on top of that. That's how far over it knocked that pier. Like I said, the only thing that kept from knocking it on over is probably that leg probably caught it. So this bridge has been closed since February 2020, and looks like the courts are going to be having to decide what's going to go on with it. Here in a little bit, I'll read the latest news article that was written about it that details everything and what the barge company has offered, and it's just I don't think it's going to work. So that's the reason why it's in the situation it's in, and just sitting here, nothing being done right now. Here's what's kind of odd about this whole thing. When this happened, nobody knew that a barge had hit it. Well, coming down through here, there's several houses on the river on the side of the bank, and so a tugboat had to travel right by in front of these houses in the middle of the night and capture this barge that was hung up down here. And there was nobody that seen it, heard it, or realized what was going on. And it took them a little bit, a week or so, before they admitted that they did in fact have a barge get away, and they said it might have hit that pier. And I don't know, but that was kind of a strange chain of events right there. I mean, either you know or you don't. So hang tight. I'm about to come in here. You're going to get to see a driving part as I drive around, and I actually fly the drone through the center of the bridge. And then I'm going to read the latest news article of everything that details what all is going on up to this point here. So appreciate y'all watching. So we're sitting on the island side of the Riverwalk bridge, old bridge. You see they got it barricaded there. It's barricaded on the other side, so for almost 3 years now it has not been able to be used for anything. Of course, there's a new bridge and road where it comes over. Say new, I mean the things have been here now for quite some time when they built this one over here. I think this is the bridge number 3 and bridge number 4 that's in this area. I think there's been, over the years, have been 4 different bridges located in this general vicinity right here. I think the first one was right over in that area right there is where it was. And then this is our amphitheater that they built several years ago now, and still to this day it has not been used yet. It's sitting where it's sitting. It's actually been underwater 2 or 3 different times. I mean, this river here, it ain't no joke. When we get a lot of rain, it will get up. But there's a few, one of the last times it flooded, there was a couple guys in their boat. They actually got a video of them patrolling around, you know, kind of inside the amphitheater where the seating is right there. But this is just a hole, not a real good location for them to build that thing right there. And I put a lot of money in it, which, I mean, I don't mind them putting the money in it. It's just in the wrong location, and it's, like I said, it still hadn't been used. I don't think it's completed enough to where it could be used yet also. But maybe one of these days they'll get the bridge back fixed up, because again, it's been almost 3 years ago that has taken place. Behind me back here on the island is where the cure site was, where I filmed all those videos of the demolition of that thing, and nothing's been done with it either. It's just sitting there. You can see it. Now for the good juicy stuff. This article was written in our local newspaper here on November the 11th, 2021. The Commercial Dispatch. I'll link the article down below if I think about it. You can find it on C as in cat, D as in dog, cdispatch.com. Just look up pedestrian bridge and you'll be able to pull it up and read it right there. The headline of the article reads, "Pedestrian Bridge Repairs Tied Up in Federal Court." So here's the article. Dispute in federal court involving the city and 2 marine companies is delaying repairs to the pedestrian bridge at the Riverwalk and will keep it closed for the unforeseeable future. According to federal court documents, a towboat owned by Cooper Marine and Timberlands based in Mobile, Alabama, was pushing 8 barges south on a 10-ton waterway on February the 6th, 2020. When the boat and its loaded barges grounded near the channel opening to the old Tombigbee River near Columbus. A boat owned by Max Marine came to aid the grounded vessel, and in the process, a loaded barge broke loose, drifted down the Tombigbee, which is the old river run, and struck the pedestrian bridge eastern support pier. The city has filed claims seeking damages from both companies for negligence. Cooper Marine and Max Marine filed separate limited liability actions in federal court, which have been consolidated into one case. In both limited liability actions, the companies assert that they were not negligent and should not be held liable for damage to the support pier. However, both seek to limit any liability they do incur to certain amounts. In Cooper Marine's case, it seeks to cap damages to the post-incident value of the barge that broke loose and its freight, in which it estimates at $161,000. Max Marine seeks to limit its liability to the value of the boat from which the barges broke loose, the Crown Jewel, which its court filings set at $570,400. City Attorney Jeff Turnish, speaking at Mayor Keith Gaskin's twice monthly press conference on November the 2nd said proper bridge repairs would cost multiple millions of dollars. He told the dispatch in a phone interview last week that the force of the barge had knocked the pier out of place by 15 degrees and left a divot in the riverbed. If you just straighten it back out, it wouldn't be resting on anything, Turnage said. The city has hired Greenville attorney Frank Thaxton, who specializes in marine law, to represent its interest in the case. Turnage said instead of limiting liability to one vessel, the city is asking the court to apply the flotilla rule, which would set a liability maximum for the value of all vessels, barges, and freight involved. Since that would far exceed the value of repairs, the city is asking for dismissal of the liability actions altogether. Thaxton, when reached by the dispatch, would not comment on the record about the case. Also at issue is a pedestrian bridge inclusion on the National Register of Historic Places, meaning the Mississippi Department of Archives and History must approve any repairs or renovations to the bridge. Cooper Marine submitted plans to the city for repairing the bridge, which Turnage said MDAH rejected. The dispatch attempted to contact attorneys for Cooper Marine and Max Marine, but calls and messages were not returned by press time. That's interesting. Like I said, that's the last article that has been written that I could find on it. And I'm pretty sure that was it. I was thinking that this article had been written back during the summer, this past summer, but it goes back to November of last year. It's a shame that things have to end up being like this. I know if, say, I'm doing a tree job and I damage something, I have to pay for it. I have to fix it. If I tear somebody's fence up, do something like that, I have to fix it. It's just simple. Get it done, take care of it, move on. You chalk up your losses and you go on down the road and get with it. Fortunately, I've hit had some limbs, hit some chain link fences that I've had to straighten up and repair, but nothing major. I know in the woods, logging wise, when I worked there were occasions where we had incidences and things happen. And man, you suck it up, buttercup, and you get it fixed. So now the problem is that was in 2020, right prior to COVID hitting. Now we're in 2022 at the end of it, about to roll into 2023. Cost and things have skyrocketed. If you've been hiding under a rock and you don't know that, welcome to reality now. So whatever that was projected to cost in 2020, you could probably pretty much triple it now. The bridge is, for our area, is a huge asset. It kind of sets the stage for Columbus. It's a beautiful area right there. The Riverwalk runs up under it, which is a very nice area that they've put quite a lot of money in. A lot of people use that thing. The bridge was getting used for a lot of stuff. The bridge needs to be taken care of. They need to get that thing fixed back up where people can start back using it. Because like I said, it's kind of a centerpiece for Columbus, plus all of our antebellum homes that we have here. A lot of history, a lot of stuff went on right here in Columbus, Mississippi, way back in the day. So let me know down below your thoughts, what you think. And I hope this update video fills in all the blanks for everybody. I do appreciate you watching. Stay in tune. Y'all have a great day. We'll catch y'all later. Later, taters.